Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we are looking at a different disc union, another relatively new one. This is located in the Shibuya area of Tokyo. It is the Rock in Tokyo Disc Union. As the name suggests, this is a store that is dedicated to rock music in all its variants and variations and varieties. It's a little bit hard to find. I'll put a link in the description to a Google Map page and to their Twitter page and to any other link that might help you find a place. But once you get there, it kind of sticks out because you go down this hallway and then, hey, there's a giant disc union sign. And then behind that is an amazing entranceway that I just wanted to show off. I really love all the album covers here. I think it shows you kind of what the store's about, right? All kinds of rock, from Fleetwood Mac to Suicide and everything in between. It's a nice little entranceway with a giant Strokes cover that I hope won't get me in trouble with YouTube. Anyway, let's get on down here and take a look and see what the store has to offer inside. Right off the bat, some mother freaking Iron Maiden. The new album just came out and it was Japan themed for the cover, so of course it got a pretty big prominent display there. This is all J-punk, J-metal, Japanese rock music all on one side of this wall, and on the other side you have non-Japanese, Western rock music with punk and hardcore, metal, death metal, all taking up a good chunk of this shelf. But it's not all that stuff. As you'll get going here, you'll start to see a bit more, I don't want to say mainstream, or less scary, but it's more mainstream than Dream Theater. The Killers, Billie Eilish, Paul Gilbert, that amazing Adam Hart Mother reissue I talked about a few weeks ago, some King Crimson, Goblin, a lot of Prog down here, so that's up my alley. A lot of good stuff. I like to come here to buy new music on CD because I still buy new albums on CD. I think it's a good way to support artists that you like. It's certainly better than streaming. Let's look at some old CDs. This is mostly old stuff, although they do slide in some new releases here sometimes, but it's 90% of this stuff is just old. I just wanted to go through here and kind of show you the kind of artists they have. You got your, I like saying that, The Damned, Dan Fogelberg. Let's take a random look at some stuff down here. What do they got? We got some Dandy Warhols, pretty cheap. I don't know who that is. Got some Dislocation Dance. And DJ Shadow, that's a great album for 580 yen. And then we got Dan Hartman. I fucking love Dan Hartman. Everyone should listen to more Dan Hartman. That's my takeaway for this episode. Nice rainbow box set. That's 1,000, almost 10,000 yen. Maybe not. And then some other rainbow stuff. I really like rainbow. I'm starting to get into them more and more. There's a lot of live rainbow out there that I gotta be careful about. And then other stuff down here. Let's take a look around the corner, though. I like this section because it has these micro genres that I really think are kind of fun. You want some soft rock? Who wants Air Supply? Then 60s Garage. That's like Mitch Ryder and the Sonics. You got your psychedelic and acid folk. Interesting stuff down there. French pop. Not my area. Can't help you. That's singer-songwriter and Swamp. I don't know why they put that together, but they do. Mondo and Strange, that's like your Moog records, Exotica records, stuff like that. And then you got your folk next to it. Down here you have country and bluegrass. That's everything past that. Not a lot of country bluegrass here. A lot of noise and avant-garde though, because it's right next to my favorite part, your favorite part, the progressive rock part. I'll try not to spend too much time here, I promise. But I wanted to show something off. Pay attention. This is the gong section. But they also put Steve Hillage here, and they also put David Allen here. So when you're looking for a band that has side projects or solo artists in Japan, go to the bands section because they mix it all together. And that could be a little confusing for some people. Like if you want to find Phil Collins, you got to go to Genesis. Same with Peter Gabriel. It's just how they do things here. Look at Renaissance, another good example. Illusion, that's not Renaissance, but it's Renaissance adjacent. It's hard to explain, but you're going to find it in Renaissance, not in Illusion. So keep that in mind, side projects, other stuff like that. It's difficult. Here we have reel-to-reels. That's an odd one. I don't think that's a reel-to-reel. I think that's like a box set maybe. If it is, that's a weird one, but that's a reel-to-reel. 4,800 yen, not too bad a price. Same with that one. I'm always fascinated by reel-to-reels. It's the thing I always want to buy, but I'm never going to buy because they cost too freaking much. And they're inconvenient, and I don't need them. But hey, that's never stopped me before, so who knows? Maybe someday. Take a look at some other stuff here. Just skimming through here. Other artists, Sebadoh, Seeds, Seals and Crofts. Good variety of stuff here across all kind of genres of rock music. And this is all Western. The Japanese stuff is all separate. in case you're wondering where like those artists are. Got your Stone Roses, and I'm pretty sure you got your solo artists mixed in there too. Yes, you do. You only need the first Stone Roses album. Don't buy anymore. Let's go fucking metal. Lot of heavy metal here. Lots of heavy metal here. Good metal selection of both new and old stuff I don't understand, and, you know, stuff that's more up my alley, like Megadeth, and even more up my alley, stuff like Alice Cooper and Judas Priest, because I'm an old man who only likes old metal. Here's some Halloween. Let's take a look at what they have here for that, just to give you an example of the diversity here. So, got your typical Japanese pressings of the albums on various prices, some dirt cheap, some really expensive. You kind of get what you pay for. But again, where else are you going to find that much Halloween? I don't know. Let's go to punk. They also separate the punk good. This is the 70s punk section, and then there's like a ska core section, there's a hardcore section. Alternative TV, I should have bought that. Damn, I didn't notice that at the time. I like that band quite a bit. If you go down here, you'll see the other subgenres. You got your emo. I don't know what Japan thinks emo is, and I don't know what I think emo is. I hear emo, I think, you know, let's be real, Fall Out Boy. But this is, I think, actual emo, like post-Fugazi, pre-Fall Out Boy emo. So if you're into, like, what people actually think emo is, then that's probably a good place to look. Even more metal on this side. So much metal in this store. Some Night Ranger and Nightwish, which is, you know, two sides of a very different coin. That's some variety. Let's look at some Rat. Round it. Anyway, I don't want to get sued. Rat. See, there you go. A 6,000 yen import Japanese copy, and then you got your cheaper ones here. So again, if you're looking for the collectible versions or just affordable used stuff, good store for both of it, I believe. Then over here is the J-pop. Again, not always my area of expertise, so I can't go into a lot of detail here, but it's a good selection, well organized, lots of stuff. I really should get more into this stuff now. Then there's a game and anime. That first part is anime and then game. As I might have said before, anime and game music is usually connected together because there's a big overlap there. Not a huge selection and nothing I'm really that interested in. I'm going to do a big video on game music soon, and you'll see that I don't look here that much anymore because I pretty much have every game music CD I want. But let's take a look down here some more. A lot of good J-punk and other Japanese rock genres, but I was really surprised going down here a bit more at what they had to offer. They have a lot of cassette tapes. This is mixed, I think, Japanese and Western, not just old stuff, some like lo-fi, newer stuff too, but a lot of old stuff. You might have seen the Icicle Works, but then you see weird stuff that I have no idea what the heck that is, and like, you know, new indie albums on tape like Tysegal. I think there was a Bully album up there. Some Japanese stuff too. I'm not a huge tape guy, but they are fun, I'm not gonna lie, and it's cool to see so many up here at pretty reasonable prices. You know, I think most of them want under 2,000 yen. Good stuff. But I know y'all don't care about tapes, y'all care about vinyl, and this store is probably about 40% CD, 50% LP, and then 10%, you know, other stuff. But let's start looking through the LPs and see what they got to offer here. I think it's a pretty good store for records. Right off the bat, over here, you got the Beatles. There's a $1,000 copy of Revolver. I different mix on one of the tracks. Okay, yeah, sure. Then you got a Butcher Baby cover, a Third State for $100,000. I have seen a lot of Butcher Baby covers in Japan. I don't know how they end up here. Just all kinds of stuff. Let's take a look in this A. Andrew WK, right on. So to remind you that in Japan, they go by first name. So Andrew WK is in A, next to Arcade Fire. And whoever that is, somebody, it's in A. So that can be confusing for some people, but once you get used to it, it becomes kind of hard to undo, and you go back to America or wherever you're from and you get confused because you're looking for David Bowie in D, and they don't have David Bowie in D, they have it in B. And you're like, oh, right, yeah, I'm a dumbass. What else have they got over here? A lot of Allman Brothers, and then Asia. I'm in Asia. Let's look at Asia. Here's an Asia acetate for about 16,000 yen. I would like to own an acetate. I'm not going to own an Asia acetate. I have my standards. Here's a Quiex 2 pressing. I've always wanted to get some of those, but I think I need a decoder. And if I'm going to get one of those, I'm not going to get one from Asia. But that's a promo, and promos are a bit pricey here. So keep that in mind if you're looking for those. Actually, promos are usually cheaper in the States. don't go shopping for promos in Japan. Moving on to Zeppelin, as you can see, they separate them by pressings. They're not the only band that does that. Beatles is a big one for that. If you look at here, Beatles are separated by album, not just country, but by album. So if you want different pressings of A Hard Day's Night from different countries, they have a whole section just for Hard Day's Night, a whole section for Sgt. Pepper, a whole section for Magical Mystery Tour. I'm not this kind of person. I just want the music. I don't need individual pressings. But if you are that kind of person, you're in luck because this is the store that has it. A lot of John Lennon too. And then you see over there Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney gets his albums, like his is on those separated by category, placards, just like that. But George and Ringo, no such luck. Moving over, a lot of Bob Dylan. I think Bob Dylan got more popular here after he won that Poet Laureate Prize. I could be mistaken, but that's my feeling on it. A lot of Japanese stuff and, Western stuff here. The prices here can really run the gamut too. I think they know what they have. Like, there you go. There's a promo for one of his albums. It is about $300. Whew, that's a lot of money for Bob Dylan. Let's see what else they got. Genesis. Here's another example of what I'm showing you. So you got Genesis, and then you got Steve Hackett, and you got Anthony Phillips and Peter Gabriel. All of them are under Genesis. I don't know how Steve Hackett feels about that, but that's just how it is. Moving over to the singles, got like your indie singles for like metal and punk, but then there's a lot of like old 45s from the 70s, 60s, 80s. The artists you usually see there. Again, a giant Beatles section because we're in Japan. But good variety here too. Again, I'm not a big singles guy, but you never know what you might find, and the covers can be fun, and they're cheap too. Like, yeah, 580 yen for Jump. That's a good price. For Jack Flash, Aretha Franklin. Hell yeah. Hell no. What else do they got down here? Yeah, all kinds of weird stuff. Let's move on. Let's go someplace else. Those are shirts. Nice vinyl selection here overall. As you can see, it's a surprisingly big store with a really good selection of just rock music on CD and vinyl. And again, on vinyl, you got those kind of smaller genres. Let's do a deep dive on soft rock with David Cassidy. Hell yeah. And the Barbarella soundtrack, The Seekers, somebody, I don't know who that is, the Banana Splits Hour. Yeah, let's move on. And then you got light mellow. You don't want to go soft, but you gotta want to go light. You can listen to that guy. Or Steve Forbes. Okay, or that's 45. What else do we got here? Rupert Holmes. Yeah, when I think light mellow, Rupert Holmes, like top 5 light mellow artists. I don't know who that's for, but I'm glad they separated so I don't stumble upon it when I'm looking for, my Yes albums. A lot of singer-songwriter here, and I'll just skim through this because, again, another one that's not my area, but there's definitely more singer-songwriter here than I've seen in any other disc union. Keep that in mind if you're looking around. Let's go to some psychedelics. Yeah, let's take some shrooms and buy some Kathmandu for 15,000 freaking yen. That better be a good album. Jesus. And the psychedelic is not my scene also. I like a lot of it, but it's so expensive, as you can tell from a lot of these. They're over $100 a pop. Prog's my scene. You all know that. And I'll try to keep it brief. Let's see. How should I keep this brief this time? No, I'm not going to look for more Genesis. I promise. And I'm not going to... Ooh, Renaissance. No, not today. Let's look at German. Yeah, German. Okay, yeah. Anyone's Daughter. Some Wallenstein, Einstein, Triumvirate. That's a good album. Eden, that's a good band. Okay, you guys don't care. Let's go to punk. I'm sorry. No more prog today. Here's some thrash metal and death black metal. Is that better? I'm going to skim through this for y'all who might care about, obscure emo. You can get a good idea looking here. Again, I'm not going to go and Google these albums and tell you which ones are rare or interesting or not. I trust the emo fans will leave comments to tell me what's good there. Same with 70s punk and garage. I know a bit about that, definitely more than emo. But again, I'll just take out some. You can take a look and tell me what y'all think. I think there's some good stuff in here. I did find a few bands I've heard of. I've heard of the Numbers. Not heard of Moto or Mother's Children. But there were some good ones in here. 999. I like them a lot. Their first 3 albums are good. That's a great album right there. I recommend that one if you're looking for some good old school 70s punk. Some rockabilly and psychobilly. I always just want to buy the Cramps. I don't know anybody else in this genre. I'm sorry, but there's apparently quite a few. I don't know why Roman Holiday's there, because Roman Holiday, not Psychobilly, but whatever. A lot of hardcore, and then over in the back wall, you got your J-pop, your J-rock, that type of stuff filling out the areas over here, and a good selection of that also, with also the names in English over the Japanese names sometimes, which can be helpful. And then over here, one more thing. This is the new records. That's the kanji for new. I buy stuff here, but if you ever do get to come to Japan as a tourist, don't buy new records here if you can buy them in America, because they're going to cost a heck of a lot more here. Usually up to $10 to $20 to $30 to $40 more, depending on how rare it is or how niche the product is. Like that STP one, that was over $100. I bought it because I live here. You don't have to do that. Same with that Yes. That Yes is $3,000. I bet it's a bit cheaper in the States or in England. So yeah, this is a good lesson for you there. And here are the new arrivals, not new releases, but new used stuff. The stuff that comes in, every week or so. They update these areas, and this is where I usually head to first. Wow, some Dibbly stuff, not too bad a price. That album's huge here. Don't know who the heck that is. Oh, yeah, Shoujo. That band's great. Buy that. That's great. It's not power violence hardcore. Is that a real genre? I don't need power violence hardcore in my life. Okay, well, I guess I do. I want Black Flag. I'm sorry. What else have they got? They got some Merle Haggard. Good price on that one. Michael Nesmith's solo album. That's not one I've seen before. A copy of The Wall for 4,600 yen. Not too bad a price for a nice used copy of The Wall. Some Miles Davis. As you can see, they kind of just throw stuff in here. It's not as organized, and that's kind of a downer, but this stuff moves through so quickly, I guess they can't really go through the whole thing and alphabetize it every single day. It would get kind of hard. And then finishing up over here, there's some clothes. They also sell some wet liquor. The clothes don't fit me. I never buy them. But yeah, this is a fantastic store. If you can ever make your way back to Japan, you're looking for some good rock music, rock vinyl, rock CDs, rock tapes even, then you should definitely come by and check it out for sure. But that's going to do it for today. Again, I'll put a link to the store's website, the Google Maps location, and any other relevant information links in my description below, as well as a link to my Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Lost Turntable, and be sure to click those like and subscribe buttons here. Also, I do have a podcast, not about music, but about movies, called Cinema Oblivia, and I'll put a link to that down below also. But I'll be back in a couple of weeks or a week or so with another video, so I'll see you then. Take care.